tricky. I think that the biggest takeaway is how little Trump seemed to know about the UK, or I suppose how little interest he has in UK news. I mean, even when he's talking about immigration, you could tell he hadn't been briefed, or he hadn't chosen to be briefed on the riots that are currently happening outside, or sorry, well, the sort of the protests outside various asylum hotels up and down the country. He was sort of making the argument that Starmer had got it under control, and I think many would say that he doesn't quite have it under control. He also didn't know anything about the Online Safety Act that came in a couple of days ago. And I'm not insinuating that the president should know about these sort of, inner machinations of what's going on with UK politics, but you'd think he might have a broad idea or interest of what was going on. And he seemed actually rather clueless.
It's interesting, isn't it? Often it's a briefing on this stuff as well, isn't it? Tom, what's your take?
Well, look, I think it's really important that the UK Prime Minister has a strong relationship with whoever is in the White House. But there were some really uncomfortable moments in there. I thought the Prime Minister and his wife looked particularly uncomfortable on the steps. And I think in terms of the political knock-on of all of this, is that on the relationship side, where the Prime Minister is really struggling for some credit with colleagues, it won't necessarily have done him a huge amount of favours. For example, the interaction about Sadiq Khan. He should have been in there far quicker to defend his colleague. I think people will be quite surprised about that, and it just represents some of the strained relationships that there feels that there is within the Labour family at the moment. But look, I think it was really welcome that he moved the conversation on Russia and Ukraine, as well as around Gaza. So from a UK perspective, that was a very welcome outcome.
Right, hold that thought, because I'm going to come back to you on all these things as well. But I did just want to go over to the US, because over in New York, the Foreign Secretary David Lammy is going to be attending a two-day United Nations conference to try and push for a two-state solution. We can talk now to David Blevins, our US correspondent. David, what's the latest?